Into Dominion time, and with thanks to Nutrien Equine for getting me up here and getting me around some of the stables. Great to catch up with Jack Butler. Firstly, Jack, welcome to Campbell's Comments officially, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Great to have you up here. It's awesome.
Done a few things over the phone and I really appreciate your time and also your input. I think trainers like yourself embracing social media, if you like, and when a question's asked, you guys get the message back there, and I think that's really cool for the Joe public, and it's a different way of being able to get out to other people.
Yeah, for sure. You know, without social media, I think we'd be buggered these days, but yeah, no, it's good, mate. I love watching Campbell's Comments and on loose lines and all that. I really think you're doing a great job.
Thank you. You didn't have to say that part. That's okay. You're a harness purist. You've got a little bit of a backstory, if you like. You're almost part of New South Wales royal family, but you've got a surname of Butler. It's a strange one where you fit in. But how did your, I suppose, start in harness racing begin?
I actually went to school with Jenny Turnbull's brother as a young fella, and then we just started going out there, mucking around with the horses, and yeah, and then I sort of got the bug. I was about, I suppose only about 10 or 11 then, and yeah, it wasn't too long after I ended up, well, Steve and Jenny took me in at a young age, and yeah, it's just sort of grown from there. You know, they're great people. I owe them the world, really, to be where I am today, and yeah, no, they're just awesome people.
They actually look like they're terrific people. Like I've met them, and they are. Your colours, everyone's colours. The blue and the red and the white, they're all spin-offs of that. It's like once you're part of that family, you just sort of, I don't know, you have those colours, you bleed those colours if you like it. Everyone seems to embrace what the Turnbull name and the Lagoon area means. Yeah,
definitely. I suppose I just, I grew up obviously with the Turnbulls and knew any no different in the colours, but yeah, that's sort of what we've all run with, and yeah, we know where we are anyway.
We're here on the property of John McCarthy, but even your association with the McCarthys goes way back to your Bathurst days.
Yeah, it's funny how it works, actually. John McCarthy rented the place off Chris Frisbee that I eventually ended up buying, and yeah, and I ended up buying this off John McCarthy up here. So yeah, it's weird how things work.
And that's the property Nathan's in right now.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep. Yeah, that's the one Nate's in now, and yeah, it's still part of the family, and yeah, it was a great place.
Shelling out plenty of winners, and another generation, young Jet's driving up a storm as well.
Yeah, actually, Jet's just on his way up here now. He's having a drive for me tomorrow at Redcliffe, so yeah, he's doing a super job there. There's nothing of the little fellow, but he's a good kid, and he's got great teachers down there, so he'll go a long way.
Did a real cool interview, and he was saying about being levelled and all the rest, and like he's got grandfathers and all the rest. He's got an auntie, Amanda. Apparently, she keeps him well and truly in check.
Yeah, I think Amanda keeps everyone in check down there, to be honest. But like she's such a great driver, Amanda herself, and in my eyes, Steve was probably one of the best drivers me growing up. And he was my idol, and they all can drive, and they're great horsemen too.
What is it about that area? Nathan said to me when I was there just recently, like he said he was in a bar, they were in a bar in America, and they're talking to the likes of Yannick Ringar and all these guys about drop bears of all bloody things. But they were also talking about the property where they were, and you have a look at the drivers and the trainers that have come out of that one house, and within the space of probably a 1 kilometre radius, the amount of quality horsemen and the legacy they've left for harness racing, if you like, in general, right across Australia.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I think none of us had much schooling, so that's sort of way we went. And no, you're right. It doesn't matter. You could be sitting anywhere in a pub. Doesn't matter where you are, and you leave someone either bagging the Turnbulls or loving them, But yeah, mate, the legacy that AD left. It was unbelievable, what he done in his career. He's probably one of the hardest men I ever drove against. But yeah, they're just all great people, and yeah, it's great to see the legacy they're leaving.
You drove as well?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I drove. Just until the weight got hold of me. But yeah, I love driving. But obviously these days it's more about the training side for me, and watching my daughter go around. It's a great thrill, and yeah. That's sort of where we're at.
We'll get onto that in a minute, but what was your best win as a driver?
Probably the Bohemia Crystal with Dinky Dye. That was a good thrill.
Good race.
Yeah, got beat an absolute I won't say that word, but that much in the Victoria Cup. Be Good Johnny got me right on the line, and
McCarthy's.
So I won the Shirley Turnbull a couple of times and things like that. So yeah, like I really enjoyed driving, and Steve gave me a good go when I was a young fella, and it's. But yeah, as I said, I got too big, and yeah, that's the way it goes.
Surely Turnbull would have meant a bit to you too, like not just as a good race, like it's always been a quality race, but the Turnbull surname.
Yeah, that's right. It's it's probably not the biggest stakes money race you'll see, but I just think the prestige of it, and where we come from, and I wasn't lucky enough to meet Shirley. She'd passed before I'd come on the scene, but. All reports that she was just the most beautiful person you ever meet, and so yeah, it does. It means a lot when you win it. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're the things that get forgotten. And I think we've got to remember, as you said, it's not about the prize money. It's not about whether you're a favourite, you backed it off the planet, or anything else like that. The part you remember the most is just probably that surname. And what that race meant to you as a young person, growing up in the industry. Yeah,
definitely. I can still remember Boxing Night. It was always a big thing because of the Shirley Turnbull. And yeah, you're right, mate. It was a great thrill.
Halcyon days down there in the Riverina, because Leighton was on as well over the January with all the babies. It was big times. I do remember some of those. Right, your property here. What you got? 26 acres.
Yeah, just touch under 26, and it's a great part of the world, mate. To be honest,
it's up on a bit of a hill, which offers its own, I suppose, advantages and disadvantages, if you like. With your track, you've got a good track on the side of a hill, but because you're on the side of a hill, you haven't got a big track.
Yeah, that's right, mate. As you know, the Queensland weather, when you get rain, you can get 10, 12 inches in 24 hours, but you got to drag all your sand back up and fix your track up and things like that. But you're back on it the next day. Like it's dries out quick. The worst thing, you get washouts and things like that. But when the last floods went through here, and had a lot of trainers were sort of out of play, like Grant and that. I know he had a bit of trouble with his track and things like that. Whereas I was back working on mine the next day. So it has its ups and downs, and but yeah, more ups than downs.
The track's unique. The McCarthys, they worked out a formula and they passed that on to you, basically, which was, I think that part's terrific. But you did say you stumbled across a few little difficulties, if you like, to basically the evolution of speed.
Yeah, that's right. I John and Luke, they couldn't have done enough for me to help me try and work it out. Like I said, it took me about 12 months, I reckon, and I was cooking a few on it and things like that. But I think this day and age, the horse is just, from when John was here, dominating things like that. He's were tough as hell, and just sort of kept trucking. Whereas now, I think there's that much more speed into the race now, and I was just making him a bit leg weary. But we've sort of got it down pat now, and we're going pretty good with it now.
It's a beautiful little place. You've got plenty of yards, heaps of horses under trees. There's green grass down the back. There's not a lot of green grass, but that's part of Queensland, and you've got to come to expect it. Victoria's the same boat. People say they want horses in green grass, but not always conducive to having them race properly either.
No, that's all right. This is sort of funny, the soil up here, obviously sandy soil, and it can be green as hell, and they'll get rain for 2 weeks and then it's brown. But the grass here is not great. It sort of hasn't got much guts in it, but it's always good for them to get out and have a pick when they can, a bit of green grass, and just hoping keep getting some bit more rain.
You got a few little ones, and we'll get to Adele in a second, but your swimming hole is sensational. And it is basically a hole. It's not as big as what I was expecting, but it's so good. You said you can have up to 5 swimming on that at any one time?
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's just sort of how many like that are here working, but we've had more than that on. So, but yeah, no, it works really good, and I really love the swimming, and I think it's really great for the horse. I don't sort of use it so much as a training tool, other than like horses like Adele, but it's more just to get him in there, cool him off, and freshen him up a bit. Yeah.
You got a walker up here under your shed. You got a beautiful shed as well. Undercover, good breeze blowing through it, and the likes. And then you got a treadmill. And in the other life that I have as a horse dentist, I go around plenty of places. The thoroughbreds have embraced treadmills basically because they have to, because they can't get track riders. Not a lot of trotting people have embraced them. I think as much anyway as the gallops have. You like yours? You enjoy yours?
Yeah, I really do. I've got obviously a few crocs here and things like that. They spend a lot of time on it. I just feel, suspensories and tendons and things like that, keeping them in a straight line and probably not extending their tendons and suspensory in the sand, I think helps them a lot. So they do a lot of swimming and treadmilling.
Yeah, and that's one of the key components. And you talk to any vets, keep them in a straight line. I've ran over plenty of people who've been footballers and things like that. It's generally when you try to turn that's what bites you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I've learned that firsthand. And but yeah, we're a lot more smarter these days with it. And we keep them up pretty good now. And they seem really good.
Right, the team, what you have, 6 in the Inter-Dominion, 5 in the Inter-Dominion?
I had 5 in, mate. My 3 paces didn't get through. They're all in the consolation, and my 2 trotters are in the final.
Yeah, the paces, a little bit of tricky draws, and a couple of races didn't pan out. Like I think a few people thought on paper, there was a couple of moves that caught a few people unawares.
Yeah, definitely. Like Hot and Treacherous, poor bugger, he got 12 twice, and I think barrier 7 once, and. You got Leap to Fame drawn inside you, and good horses like that. You sort of got to go back and hope, don't you? But his runs weren't too bad, really, like considering where he come from. And but like a little horse like Targaryen, he's gone above and beyond. He's had some good draws, but he probably wasn't quite up to these. So, like, his last run was unbelievable. Like, he's drawn one tomorrow night. I'm sure he'll run another super race, but I think it's done him the world of good. Deus Ex, his first couple were awesome, but I think just burning him off the gate last week over 2,600 just took his toll on him.
The first horse you said, Targaryen, I think is how you pronounce it. You'd be excited about next year. I mean, if Larry keeps racing, you're not going to get too excited about those. But his progression and I suppose, conditioning, if you like, to these good horses and still being able to keep up there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it, especially a horse like him that's, probably come through pretty quick to get to where he is, and it's done him the world of good. Yourself, to get them horses that probably just under the mark of them better ones, but you get them chasing them, it can make them a better horse, later on for sure.
Your 2 trotters won. Congratulations. I think the job you've done with both these horses, outstanding. Funny face. She's progressing. She's going the right way. Not to win an Inter-Dominion. We're not going to kid ourselves. Or she could, like if everything went awry with other horses. But you must another horse. She's only a 5-year-old from memory. Another year, maybe 2 years under the belt. You'd be pretty excited about her.
Yeah, she's really stepped up, and I think I got quoted before this series. I still think she's 12 months away, for sure. But she's in the same boat. This will do with the world of good chasing these better ones around, and they just sort of go to another level, you hope, anyway. And but she's sort of one that I think can keep stepping up for sure. And
Pete's worked with her. Pete McMullen and her just seem to click. He's known as Leader Peter, but he's been slotting her in, and you can see he's making her qualify for the final the way he's been driving her, but also teaching her nearly for the future. Yeah,
for sure. Like she's probably at this stage probably more speed than she's tough. But and Pete's just drove her a treat, getting her on the fence and in the 1-1 and things like that. But and she's hit the line probably as good as she can, and probably running PBs as well, But yeah, she'll get better and better.
And the other mare, the mare I love, Adele. She's a beautiful mare. She's quirky, but she's a beautiful mare. You got her back in the draw. It worked out the first night. You got a nice third. What did you think when you drew barrier 1 in the middle of the heats?
I think Dave rang me, and Dave McGowan rang me and said, "You realise she's never drawn 1?" I went, "Oh, shit." But anyway, I thought she'd got away. She was so relaxed, and I think she went about 50 or 100, and I thought, "Oh, we're right." And then boom, up she went. But yeah, she is what she is. I think she's been like it her whole life, and she must be just happy being OD'd. So we'll just leave it there.
But then last week in the finals, chasing home those other 2 horses, all horses by Orlando Vici, which is quite unique in itself. Class horses, she was chasing home. Chris done a brilliant job getting around while Nath was overseas in New Zealand. Yeah, mate, I was wrapped with her run. I haven't heard of sectionals or what it was or nothing like that, but she was doing her best work late for sure. And you're chasing a freak like Just Believe, like But I couldn't have been happier with her. If she can repeat that, do everything right, and get a nice trip, and hopefully we can run into some money. The depth in the trotters, I said it to you last week on one of my shows. I'll say it again here now. I think the way the Queensland horses, I think everyone in Queensland should stand up and be congratulated, because the Victorian horses are They're jets. They're legitimate jets. I mean, Just Believe went overseas. Chris Lang, the rap he had on Olivici, less than 12 months ago, Silverman Good said, the Queensland horses haven't been dragged off. A horse like Gus was as cheeky as buggery in that middle round of heat. So it augurs well for the product that's coming up here. I mean, Racing Queensland and everyone else behind it, they're pushing these trotters. Someone's got to be smiling pretty well, I reckon, whoever's been trying to get all these trotters up here, because it's going to be great for harness racing in the future.
Yeah, I really love what Racing Queensland's done in Albion Park and Redcliffe, what they've done to get these trotters up here, and that, like, it's really stepped up from when I moved here sort of 8 years ago. We could buy them, for $1,000, $1,500, and do a good job with them, but you can't do that anymore. It's everyone's sort of cottoned on and happy to pay a few dollars for a nice one, and I think we're holding ourselves in good stead for sure.
Scary, actually, because you were in New Zealand, so was I just recently, and there was a horse, 2-year-old trotter, went pretty good, and I know they paid pretty good money, and he's been bought to race here. That would never have happened 5 years ago. If a horse they spent that sort of money, there'd be only one state he'd be going to, and that'd be Victoria.
Oh, 100%. And as I said, like what Racing Queensland have put on for the trotters up here, bonuses. You get a $2,000 first win, and obviously the Great Square, and it's a real good incentive to buy one for sure.
It is, and you actually said to me on one of the shows you were trying to get Adele's sister. You actually got it, so you would have been pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, I am, mate. I'm really wrapped with her, and she'll trial next Tuesday, and she can be half as good as Adele. I'll be wrapped. So just the galloping part, if we can leave that at home, that'd be good. But
what did she buy? 3 under the bus, didn't I? Yeah. I don't think she'd buy Orlando Vici, that's for sure.
No, it's one I've never heard of, actually.
There's a few of those. I represent her as to trotters. I think they do a great job with horses there importing, and I know Dave and Claire breed to all of those horses, so it'd be one of those. But so it'd be exciting. Jack, thank you. Thanks for the hospitality. Thanks for showing me around. And as I said, thank you for everything you're doing going forward. Good luck tomorrow night. Have you got another winner? Just very quickly, I don't worry about winners, but have you got a sneaky one tomorrow night?
I don't think so, mate. She's going to be a hard night. On Treacherous True 7 again. Obviously, me trotters, we're sort of running for place money there. And look, Targaryen might be a sneaky place chance, for the right trip. I mean, sort of sit on better man and get a good suck along. But it's going to be a hard night.
All right, thank you. Into the Minion Chats, they've been brought to you by Nutrien Equine, the Standardbred sales. They start, now I'm going to try and remember this because I haven't got it all down there, but January 26 in Tasmania, that is a Friday, that's a public holiday, was the first sale. We come here to February 11, up here into the Sunshine Stars, which will be at Brisbane. It's going to be a different look. We will make sure that people are aware of it and get registered. What did I work out? The 10th of March, which is in Sydney. 24th of March is Bathurst, and then the 14th of April is in Melbourne as well. So make sure you get pre-registered. There's incentives here in the Sunshine Stars sales to be pre-registered. There's going to be some sort of boutique things as well. So if you're registered way beforehand, you'll get an express card. Get in touch with Mark Barton or Gemma. Their numbers will come up at the end of it. But thank you very much. And Jack, thank you very much for everything you've done for me. And I know you purchased last year, and hopefully we get you back there purchasing this year. Yeah,
I hope so too, mate. I hope the owners are keen to buy up. And no, mate, thanks for coming out, and great to see you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, mate.